Alright, it's the next day. I'm back here. I cut this piece out so I can hopefully mount it right there and then put the screws back through the top of it like I was saying yesterday. So I'm gonna give that a shot. Alright, I got that little bracket in there. It's fairly sturdy. I can bend it a little bit, but it's in there pretty good. And then I put another clamp right here next to it to hold that. And then right here, where this was rubbing on the frame, I wrapped a bunch of this cloth tape around it. And I'll try to come up with some more clamps before it's all said and done. But I'm going to call that good for now because I got to get on running the wires under here. I got to figure that out and figure out where I can mount those sensors. For the rear sensor, it just has to be behind the jacks. I'll check again, but I don't think there's a specific distance. I know there is in the front though. So let me check that. Okay, so here's the specifications for the sensors, the leveling sensors. In the front, it has to be within 36 inches of the front of the box part of the trailer. And on the rear, it just has to be behind the rear jacks. But both of them have to be in center, and then you have to make sure you orient them the correct direction. So they do give you these two plates along with these two sensors, and they are the same part number. It's not a different one for the front versus the rear. As far as I can tell, they're exactly the same, but one goes front, one goes rear. So I brought some hardware from home, a couple different sizes, and ended up going with this. And I think what I'm probably going to do is put it right on the back side of this frame right here. So I'll bolt my little overlap part into here. I'll cut this out and then cut a notch for the sensor to go up in. So this will sit flat up against it, and then I'll just have a notch cut for this. I want to trace this out. You can kind of see it a little bit. That. And then I'll bolt these in. Okay. That's good. I push this back a little bit. I have my hand up in there. Oh, that's not what you want to see when you just had your hand up in place. Okay, so I'm gonna put this probably like right here. I'm still not sure how I'm gonna get the wires up. I wanted that main control box to go up high somewhere in here so he can still use all this, but if you look at where this wall is, it's that far behind there. So it's like right here. So yeah, it's actually like in this part, and I can't get behind this, I don't think. Not without tearing out the side. So I'm gonna have to think about that a bit. Well, I'm gonna move on to the rear sensor. I got it on its plate. I think I'm gonna put it right behind the rear jacks. Okay, back here we know where the center is because I had to figure it out yesterday. It's right where this dot is. So we're gonna work our way back. And if you look to the left, you see these screws. And if you follow it, there's another one here. Man, they didn't go all out on the screws. That's why this hangs down so damn much. But anyway, there's a crossbar right here. I'm hoping that once I get past that, there's not like a tank or something right there. So I'm hopefully gonna mount this guy the same way I did the other one. Let me zoom out. So the front two holes in this will go to the bracket, and I'll just cut a notch for this to sit up in there. Made a hole here just to check, and if I can go up that far without hitting anything, then I should be golden for this because it's only that tall. So. Okay, this one's done too. Oh my gosh, here's all the wiring. Let's get it opened up. I could barely move my arm today. I'm so sore from these heavy bastards yesterday. Okay, so this is what I did. I plugged them in, a couple zip ties, went through the middle. Hope that's okay. Then zip tied it along this like cross member deal. Picked up the sensor on the way. Kept going with it. Trying to shimmy sham out of here. Hold on. Okay. Got this one. Sorry. Picked up that one. And then what I did is, hold on. I just kind of bundled them all together. I stopped right here and picked up these two. This one comes with it. It's labeled CAN for data. And I also ran an 18.4 because it's what I have. You should probably at least run an 18.2, but I ran a 4 conductor. Or you could run like a 16.2 or whatever you got. I'll carry, a couple amps. So these hopefully are going to go to this guy. The CAN bus one plugs in right there in the middle. They give you this little harness, but you're responsible for getting power to the rest of it. And then I already plugged in that little resistor right there. That comes in the bag with it. So you have one resistor on this end and another one at the main brain. And I'm assuming probably if it's anything like fire alarm equipment, this goes on the very end of line 1. So it's probably like CAN in, CAN out. So if you had multiple of these, you could go to the first one, out to the second one, third, fourth, whatever, however many you have, and then on the last one you would put that resistor. So I'm gonna try to put it right here. I already pulled this drawer out down here, and you can kind of see some daylight through there. I gotta pull probably the rest of the drawers out. I gotta figure out, I need to get some light, but I gotta figure out how it goes through the floor and then how I'm gonna come up. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So that's the wires for those. And then I went ahead and plugged that one in, but I didn't tie it to the harness because obviously the harness has to go on the inside of the wheel and to the frame on the inside and up, and then maybe I'll tie it the last couple feet, I'll tie them together. But that's where I'm at, guys. So now I'm going to pull the end of that all the way back to there and start running it through and over everything to get it back to here. That was easy. I just went over the 2 axles, and I'm just gonna use this propane line because they got it securely attached every 4 feet or so. I don't know if it hangs down at all. I'll add some more supports, but that's about as close together as you can put them, I think. Anyway, I'm just gonna zip tie to that. That'll make quick work of that guy. And then I think I told you I connected that one, so let's see what we got left here. We got our left front, so that's obvious. This is the, it's got to be the front sensor. Yeah, front sensor. So these two just go sensor front jack. And what is this guy? I know this powers up the main control board, and I'll have to put a 50 amp circuit breaker, which I did purchase. Oh, this must go. This must plug into this jack, right? Let's see. It's got a triangle and that. Yep, that's what that is. Okay, cool. We're getting close, guys. Well, I guess. Oh my gosh, my back was so... I didn't even look at it in the mirror or anything. I mean, I luckily had these moving blankets, but they were covered in those little metal shards. And then I was pushing up, you know, 80 or 100 pounds, whatever those jacks are. So it was pushing my back right into that stuff. Yeah, very sore today. But I'm glad I knocked out all the really heavy stuff on day one. Every part I have left is less than a pound. I mean, if you don't count the wiring. But yeah, well, I feel like it's going pretty good. Still a little unsure of how I'm going to get wires up above here. Let me show you the main control board. This is what's gonna screw to the wall, and then stuff plugs into it all the way around, and then you end up with a big bunch. Almost every one of those, yeah, every single one of those wires that you've seen so far plugs into this board, and they all have that split loom on them. So yeah, it's a big bundle of wires. So just need to figure out a place. This is where the two, the red and black with the ring end terminals go. And then I think they give you, yeah, they do give you a couple nuts to go on there. And then there's the resistor that goes, see how it says can. So one of these guys will go there. Do that before we forget. And I might as well screw these on before they get lost. But yeah. Anyways, getting close. I'll update you in a little bit. Okay guys, I'm here at the front. Got all the wires in my hand. There's just a big bundle here, but anyway, I'll show you. Got one that takes off that way, one that takes off that way, and then the rest of them go down there, all the way down yonder. And I still have to figure out where I'm going to come up and in at with all that. So, and if you consider all of the plugs, it's going to need to be bigger than that to get them all through. So yeah, I'm going to have to drill a pretty big, probably a hole that big or something. Those long bits that I have would be perfect for, I got lots of room up here. I could shove a bit down and drill straight through, and that, you know, I could use a 1/4 inch bit, and that would be my pilot hole for drilling back up with a hole saw. But I didn't think to bring any, so I'm just gonna have to measure. I was able to shove this down. I just made a little slit. I measured and made a little slit coming out, and then when I went up top and shoved this down, I was right on top of it. So measuring actually worked. So I just, I have a little loop on the end of my fish tape, kind of folded the wires in half because I have a plug on the end. So I'm just gonna go in there and pull them out. And I can't believe I don't have any electrical tape, but well, I gotta work with what I got. I thought I had a bag with like 5 rolls in it, but I guess not. So let's see. There we go. Got it out. So now I'll have to cut a hole right here, but these should be long enough, so good to go. Alrighty guys, this is where I'm gonna do it. This deal, if you can see, I don't know if you can, has like these little upward tabs. That's so that when you mount this, this can slide, it can go in and then drop down, and then there's 2 screws that just hold it in place. They're very small. I don't think it came with the screws that you need to screw it in, but because you have to cut it so close to the edge, I think I'm going to put the screws in first, because I don't want to put screws in right next to a cut edge, because then you run the risk of splitting the wood. So let me go grab some screws. So we have this guy here. So I'm gonna cut this like right here. I'm only gonna use the red and black. And then I have a pair as a spare pair. Okay. I'm sweating and it's November. Jeez. Okay. They actually used pretty thick gauge wire for just an LCD display. Okay. Twist these fillers together and then I'll solder them and tape them. That's what I've always done for did security for 20 plus years, and we soldered everything. And I used to use a Bic lighter, believe it or not, but I don't have one, so I'm gonna use this little torch. Okay. And then I always cut the ends off so you don't have any little straggles of wire poking through. And then I did find my electrical tape. We switched from black to white electrical tape years ago because the black stuff, man, if you tape something and then you come back to it 5 years later, it's all gummy and nasty. This stuff is actually a little bit thicker and it doesn't leave as gummy of a residue usually. Don't know why, but it just seems to be how it is. So. And then I will fold this feller back on itself, tape it up. Okay, so here's our two deals. That one goes there, and remember I put this terminating resistor on here also. And that goes there. Jeez, are you kidding? Well, I did find more of the little baby screws. They're so small. So now I don't have any for the bottom part, but whatever. We'll get over it, I guess. If I find some, I'll put them in the bottom, but just be careful for now. And that's ridiculous, but that's a good thing for you to know. Don't lose those little baby, teeny tiny screws. And I would probably put the screws in, mount the thing, and then cut it out like I did. But do what you want. I do probably need to put another zip tie so that when I put these drawers back in, they're not hanging. Or maybe I can just put that back behind there. There we go. That should be fine. Now I'm going to put the drawers back in, and I did put a zip tie on the top of here. So, alrighty, I'm going to put this back together. Alrighty guys, I haven't picked up the camera in a little while. Let me show you what I got. I kind of went over and then up in there. And everything comes out the top here. I went ahead and mounted this guy. And they're all different lengths, as you can see. The shortest one is that guy. Barely made it over. He wants me to mount it to the roof, so it's going to be right here anyway, so I think that'll reach. So yeah, I'm just going to plug everything in real quick, shove the excess in that cavity, and then screw it into the ceiling. So I'll show you when that's done. Oh, and then where the power went, I just tapped off of that to my wire that went to that touchpad, the red and black, and put a 5-amp fuse on it. So anyway, yeah, let me plug it in. Everything, that's all real cut and dry, but I'll show you when I'm done. Alright guys, it's day 3 and I can barely move today. I'm gonna pick up some ibuprofen on my way over to Hector's, but hopefully today we will finish the trailer. I just gotta hook up a circuit breaker, some power wires, and then it'll be live. So here we go. Woo. Alrighty, I'm back at it here at the batteries. I just kind of re-terminated this one. This wire was really long for no reason, so I'm just kind of fixing it up. It went to that circuit breaker, so this will land on that side. And then I got to add my stuff. So this red wire that comes from the main control box, I'm gonna run it through this circuit breaker that I brought. It's a 50-amp circuit breaker. So I'll cut the red and install this in between it. I think the copper goes to the battery side. This goes to the trailer side. And then I'm probably just gonna run the ground straight to the battery. But I'm probably also gonna try to run a ground to the frame, because the only ground that I see even coming off this set of batteries, in case you're wondering, these are two 6-volt golf cart batteries. So when you do that, they're seriesed in between, so that negative goes to that positive, and then that gives you 12 volts. So, but the only ground I even see coming out of that is this wire, which goes into this indoor box. So I have no idea how well it's grounded to the frame, so I might try to add another one, because our tongue jack does not have its own ground wire. It grounds through the frame, I believe, unless, well, maybe it does. It only had one red wire, but then it did have a red and black, so I don't know. But I'm going to assume that it grounds through the frame, through the bolts, for its main power, so that's why I want to do that. Anyway, okay, I powered it up, but at first it didn't want to come on. Now it looks like it is. Does that little button do anything? Yeah, kinda. I have no idea. Oh, there we go. Cool. Let's see if anything else is working. Oh, this green light came on. I metered this because I didn't know. Don't worry about the fuse holder. That just takes off of there to feed that keypad we were just at. But I think because this hangs down, I'm going to put a eyelet up here and suck this up as high as I can. I mean, it doesn't stick down that far, but I think I'm going to try to get it up a little higher. Okay, let's see if any of this works. No. No. Don't tell me I'm going to have to pull out the directions. I did all this without even any directions. Looks like I'm gonna have to read, guys. I'm sorry, I failed you. I'll be back. Okay, so I wasn't able to get it to do anything, so I finally just clicked where it said to auto level, or I mean to set the 0 point or whatever. And now it's saying clear faults by pressing enter to retract. Okay, so got all these faults. Clear faults by pressing enter. Okay. Now I should be able to manually extend them. Right? Cool. As soon as Hector leaves, it starts working. See, I don't know if plus makes them go down or... Yeah, it does. Okay. So they're starting to come down. I believe to clear the faults you have to go down at least 6 inches and then come back up. So I'll go a little more. Okay. Now let's go rear. I can hear them. So I hit enter now and it's pulled those back. Now are those gonna come up? Uh-oh. Was that the tongue? Ruh-roh. Hold strong, little bottle jack. Okay, if this works, then I need to go over there to that front. Okay. I need to, since that's being held up by the bottle jack, I need to raise it up so it's back on these, and then remove that, and then get it back on the tongue jack. Let's see what this thing says now. Maybe now it won't be all goofy. So now hopefully I can let's see if I can retract the front. Yeah, that didn't retract it. Oh yeah, it did, because it's almost on the... It is on these, okay. Cool, so can I... Alrighty. Now maybe. I wonder if this front one will work now. Yeah. It's letting me extend it. Okay, you're supposed to be able to hit it once, hit it twice, and then hold it down for 5 seconds. And it goes by itself. So that's cool, that's working. Hopefully it's long enough, jeez. It's probably gonna stop right when it hits. Oh, still going. Okay. Oh, cool. Sweet. Uh-oh. Why is it still going up? Okay. Now you can retract. Cool. I'm gonna get my little level. We were supposed to have a big, huge, like 4-foot level, but we don't have one. So we're gonna use my little, let's see, it's this little guy here, however big that is. So, but whenever I buy a level, I stack like 6 of them inside the store and make sure I get one that's like consistent and level with all the others. So this should be good as long as I haven't dropped it so many times that it's broken. Let's see how far out of level we are. Okay. Wow, okay, so the front needs to go up. Okay, I need the left side, this is backwards because I'm aimed toward the rear of the trailer, but I need the left side to come up, so I got plus and left. Okay, here we go. I can hear lots of creaking and cracking and moaning. Okay. That looks pretty good there. Let's check it under the TV here. Did I go too much? Maybe. I'll check a few more spots. It's always hard to tell what's level inside one of these things because they build them so crappy. That's pretty level. I don't even trust this table. Well, let's check it anyway. Holy, yeah, that's probably just a table. That's not even solid. Guess I'll check the bumper. Okay, we're on the rear bumper and it looks like the left is a little too high. Okay, that looks like the left is too high. So I'll drop it back down a little bit. This might be a fun process. Okay, left. Okay. Dang it. Now these are showing that the left is way low. I don't know what to go off of. Dang it. Alright, I'm gonna try to fill that crack in. I already shook this up. Alright, and here. Okay, it's been a little while. That's how much it expanded. Not much, so should be good there. Okay, I just hit the auto level button. I held down these two for a sec, just a second, and then hit auto level. And the flashing green light means that the jacks are operating. So that one retracts a bit. Then these guys come down, I think. I hope I still have those in the same spot. Huh, that's nice. Oh, cool. Sweet. I thought it was going to stop right there because it says they operate in pairs. Now that guy's coming up. That one has to come up so that when the back pushes down to the ground, it doesn't tip the front down and bind with that one. So that comes up a bit. And then after that one's up, we should see the back operate. Well, the fronts are doing something again. Okay, maybe now these will go. There we go. And we may end up having to reset the 0 point once we're on better ground. But that's not hard to do, and you can do it as many times as you need to. Now I have a feeling this one's going to go down more. Okay, or not. Yeah, there we go. Okay, are we level? I think that's it. Huh? Are we done? This is why my dad never uses the auto level feature. He said on his it just goes back and forth, but that wasn't too bad. Oh! I guess I shouldn't have started talking, should I? Maybe we should watch for the... It just keeps going. When that light stops blinking, I think we'll finally be done. Oh, it went solid. Okay, I think we are auto leveled. I don't know how level it actually is, but it's wherever I set that 0 point probably. So I can't remember if... I guess that only powers up whenever you're in here. Cool. Okay, it's showing right in the dot. So if we go to manual mode, enter. Yeah, none of these in the circle should be highlighted if it thinks, and that's what it says it's like 1/10 of a degree off. So that's pretty good. It's well within the circular bubble there, so cool. Alrighty guys, I think that's going to do it for this video. Phew, I'm relieved to be done. Thank you for watching as always, and I will see you in another video here soon. Remember, if it's got parts, you can probably fix it. Alright guys, take care.